It has been quite a while. I know I've been busy, a lot of stuff going on. We have a lot to catch up on, and I'm not going to be able to do all of it in one episode. I'm going to try to be more faithful to this channel. I have other channels and other podcasts, but there's a lot going on that definitely needs to be discussed. So right now we have this debate running rampant about this Supreme Court nominee by Joe Biden, Ketanji Brown Jackson. I don't know a whole bunch about this woman, and I'm not going to profess to you that, I know scores about her as though I've looked up her entire history, because I have not. I probably will look into her history, where she went to school, different cases she's ruled on, what's her idea. Here's the main thing I'm concerned about when it comes to Supreme Court justices. Honestly, I want to know, what do you believe about the U.S. Constitution? Because this is your highest importance in that seat, ruling on cases that have to deal with the U.S. Constitution. So that's really what I want to know about. Haven't really looked into her that much. Just being honest, I wanted to be completely transparent about that. She was asked a question by Senator Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee, and people made it seem like this question was out of line. So first, I'm going to tell you what I think is going on politically and socially within the United States, not just the United States, really the world. There is a concerted effort to make truth ambiguous, so there's no truth whatsoever. Now, I understand in life there are issues where there is nuance. We can make the argument that, maybe there's several ways to see this specific argument. Maybe there's many ways you can view this specific topic. I'll give you that. There are things that way, but there is no doubt 100% unadulterated truth. That is a thing. What I think many in the political establishment and the ideological establishment are attempting to do is strip away your ability to have any kind of concrete truth. So we don't even have a foundation to stand on. In order for me and you to have a debate, let's say if we're having a debate about a topic in physics, right? And I'm not a nuclear physicist. I know very little about physics. But let's say this topic, this high technical educational topic, has a solid foundation. In order for me and you to have a debate, we at least have to agree about that foundation. If we don't agree about the foundation, then the discussion is a moot point, and then we run headlong and delve into this idea that there is no truth. And if there is no truth, then it's everything goes. And then at any moment you can decide, or I can decide, well, yeah, that was true last week, but right now this topic is true. This is a dangerous undertaking, because this is the way you strip apart society. So I thought about some things after hearing Marsha Blackburn's question, and I'm not gonna blame Ms. Blackburn for not thinking about many of these things on the fly, because my thoughts right now come after days of thinking about the answer that Miss Ketanji Brown gave to Marsha Blackburn. Now, here's another thing. If you couldn't tell, for those of you that might just be listening, I am black. So I think I have a right to say this. Not that I think you have to be black in order to have a right to say this, to be honest with you. I think another thing that's happening is if you put a black face on something, right? You take Ketanji Brown Jackson, you nominate a black woman for the Supreme Court. Now, I think this is calculated. I don't think this is just my personal opinion. I am not in the Biden administration's head, and I don't know what these people are thinking. This is guesswork. I'll go ahead and admit it. It's guesswork. My guess is you nominate a black woman, you eliminate some things. If someone goes heavy into criticizing her background, then you can link that back to racism, right? Why are you criticizing her so hard? It's because she's black. And not only is it because she's black, it's also because she's a woman. It's a smart play. I'm not saying that that's the reason that the Biden administration nominated a black woman. Now, he did say early on that he was going to nominate a black woman. And to me, this disarms a certain group of people, right? Because there are people, let's keep it real, there are people who will be afraid to lob strict criticism. Now, let me make it clear. There are some people who will hate her nomination because she is black. That's a thing. But I don't think that's the big issue, right? What happens in media is they take an issue that might be an issue, but it's small. I'm not going to say it's insignificant, but it's small, not necessarily something that needs to be addressed immediately, and they make that the issue. This is the thing you need to focus on. This is the issue that needs to take over your day. And I think that's what happens with a case like this. They nominated a black woman, so they want to make this whole thing about race. It's a black woman we've nominated. This is great. The woman, it's black. This is awesome. And then what you can do is you can remove focus from her personal record. You can shift focus away from legitimate ideological disagreements and maybe even legitimate constitutional disagreements. But you see, that argument is overshadowed by the matter of it's a black woman. Yo, shout out to her. Shout out to her for going to law school, passing a bar. Clearly, she's intelligent to get to the position she's in. Yo, that's great. But when it comes to who we nominate as a Supreme Court justice, I'm really more concerned with how, like what do you think about the U.S. Constitution? Let me hear your thoughts on that. That's what I want to hear. What the question that she was asked and her response to me might be indicative of a certain mentality she has that may not be proper for the Supreme Court. And I'm not saying she's the only justice to be nominated for the Supreme Court that has this mentality. I think I'm going to keep it real with you. One of the few Supreme Court justices that I actually keep up with, I will say when he says something, I'm definitely paying attention. It's Clarence Thomas. Here's the reason. It's not because he's black and it's not because he's a man. It's because Clarence Thomas has an open respect for the U.S. Constitution and I think a very good working knowledge of the U.S. Constitution. And I therefore respect his legal opinion because he's coming from the standpoint of what does the Constitution say? Forget how I feel. Forget what I want. Forget anyone's agenda. What does the Constitution say? And how do we interpret this? This is what we need to get back to. But anyway, I want to get to this. I want to get to this video, and you're going to hear the line of questioning. And then I have some questions and some things that I thought about after I heard these questions. So let's listen to what Marsha Blackburn had to ask.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the
All right.
law and I decide. So I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about.
Facts. All right, so I'm going to stop there. I went to dictionary.com. As far as I know, dictionary.com doesn't have any sort of agenda politically or ideologically. It's just words, meanings, definitions. So I looked up the word woman. Not that I needed to, and I'm going to get into that as well. An adult female person, a female employee or representative, to put into company of a woman, to equip or staff with women. It's just given, that was the use as a verb, and it's given the use as an adjective, of woman, womanly, female. I mean, that's pretty cut and dry. I don't think there's anything super crazy or super hard to understand about that. So here is where I was like, okay, you don't know what a woman is, and you need to be a biologist in order to know? I was like, that is impressive. That's wild. I honestly didn't know what to think about that when she said that. I was like, she can't. And the way she said it in this context, I can't define what a woman is. I'm not a biologist. Okay, so here was my question when I heard that. I said, okay, let's say I go with you. Biden said that he was going to nominate a black woman. So that would mean that Biden must be a biologist because he assumed that you were a woman. That would have been one thing I would have brought up. Now, again, I've had days to think about this, weeks even, just because I've been thinking about this topic in general. Okay, here's the next thing. How do you know you're a woman? That would have been a good question. You're not a biologist, so you're saying you don't know what you are. You see, here's the trick. The trick is to strip away truth to the point where you don't even know how to argue points anymore. The point is to strip away truth until everything is so muddled, everything is so muddy, everything is so garbled that you don't even know what direction to make your argument from because there is no foundation. Imagine ruling on the constitutionality of equality of men and women. But what is a woman? You don't know. So how do you make that argument? You see what I mean? Like, you really get into dangerous territory. And in this, Marsha Blackburn made a very, very good point. When you get into this progressive style of teaching, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the whole goal of progressivism is remove all definitions so society can be torn apart and built in the image of whatever the class of people that want to rebuild society is. Let's just go with that. Whether it be the elites, whether it be some cabal, whether it be some people behind the scenes, whatever it is, that's irrelevant. The point is, why do you want to strip away all foundations? It's because you want to lay your own foundation for what truth is. If you make truth ambiguous, you can then turn around and replace that ambiguous truth with something that is in line with whatever your form or frame of thinking is. And I think this is the point. I don't know how you feel about the whole issue of sports and transgender people and all of that. And I'm not going to get into that side of the argument. Point being, if at a basic level, we can't define what a man and what a woman is, my goodness, we are definitely headed for a dangerous path at a reckless speed.